Spartans, do you ever feel like you're too wound up and overstressed? Spartans, welcome back to another episode of the Spartan Podcast. I'm your host, Even-Esh, with my friend, Col Nye.
I am no one's friend.
No one's friends. Here we go.
Here we go. You want to get stressed? We'll talk stress.
I want to talk about stress.
Here we go.
That's what we're talking about in this episode of Spartan Way. You've probably heard and seen Col Nye on Spartan Podcast episodes. You are a true veteran and a veteran of Spartan Up.
I am both.
Exactly.
It's great, and it's great to be here on your show.
Well, I'm excited. This is going to be great. So we're talking a little bit about this behind the scenes, and I was sharing with you a story I heard on Jocko Willing's podcast, little blurb that I saw on YouTube, and he was talking about one of the guys in the SEAL teams was not really behaving, kind of getting all wound up, stressed out, so the instructor told him, he says, go in that room and self-destruct. And basically it was like a little room for him to kind of get rid of his pent-up energy.
Yeah,
and
a little padded cell.
Yep.
So he put the SEAL in timeout?
Put him in timeout, but his form of timeout was not sitting there. It was like an outlet for him, and he said he was a former wrestler, so he was doing squat jumps and burpees and push-ups, and the guy came out 30, 45 minutes later, and he said...
He smoked.
Yeah, he smoked, but he got that energy out of his system, and then he just felt better. He was better at listening. He was more attentive, and I know I could relate to that because I always tell my wife, I go, if you feel like I'm not being very nice, just send me to the gym to deadlift and I'll come back a better person.
Well, I think there's different techniques for different people, right?
Sure.
And clearly somebody who's physically fit or physically focused, that is one technique.
Yes.
And I think if that was probably the right call for that individual to get in there and to work it out, and it's probably good, 50% of people, I don't know. But I'm thinking as you talk, my wife used to take my daughter, who as a young redhead would have some moments of fury, and would tell her to go to her room and journal.
Yeah.
And whatever it was that was bothering her, whatever it was that was causing this frustration, anxiety, or whatever, write it down, think it out.
Right.
Write it, complete it, then come out. And it was the same thing when it came out. It was more of a cathartic. Okay, the release has happened. I've gotten rid of it.
I love that.
And it's not to say that my daughter's not physical. She is. She's very physically fit. I just thought I'd throw that in there.
Kind of many, I would say, I look at exercise as an art, so it's my form of creativity. But for somebody else, they might want to play the guitar, or if you're an artist, you want to paint, you want to draw, and it is, I call it like that's your form of, I say for weight training, it's iron therapy.
Yeah, I like that.
But it's your art form, it's your creative release, and I think that's what we all need. And if you take that away from somebody, then we get stressed out, we get wound up, and we're unpleasant to be around.
Well, everybody needs time to themselves.
True.
Right? I mean, and no matter when you've lived, but certainly now with all the distractions around you and everything, everybody needs some time to do what they're doing by themselves, to recenter or refocus themselves. So again, working out, lifting, running, whatever, are great. I like to go out and I just water my lawn. I have a sprinkler system.
Yeah.
Right? I could just turn it on. I actually like to do it myself, right? Because it's my hour of just being by myself and just doing whatever I'm doing.
I love that. That actually reminds me of my grandfather, and he lived in Israel. I think we spoke about this. He was very regimented, but I remember as the sun was starting to set, he would always go outside, and he had all kinds of fruit trees. He had the lemon tree, orange tree, pomegranates. He would walk around, and he would hose everything down, and he had this system of the water would go around the tree, and he would come in, and it was like his way of starting to calm down for the night.
Yeah, well, obviously he's a nurturer. Right?
Yes.
So whether it's family
true.
or whether it's plants or whatever, he's taken on that responsibility to grow and to nurture and to love family, love plants, whatever. So so that's it. You center yourself on what it is that's important to you, what it is that you love. And so that's how when times of stress come, stress and frustration, go back to your center, whatever it is for you.
Do you water the garden and everything every day, or what about?
I do, but for me, if I don't, then I get in trouble with my wife. So, but
exactly.
So a little counterproductive there, or counterpoint. But no, I try to, yeah, obviously. Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah.
So what we do at Spartan Ways, I always give them an action at the end. I give them something to do today because I feel If we're waiting for tomorrow, too late. Do something today. So here's what I want you to do today. Think about what is your creative outlet, this thing that you love to do, whether it's fitness, play the guitar, art, singing, gardening. Go and do that thing today, and then put it in your routine every day. First thing in the morning is great. Later on at night, after dinner is great. Something that kind of sets the tone for either the beginning of the day or helps you calm down at the end. Well, I'm Zach Even-Esh, my friend.
Yes,
Col Nye.
Good friend.
Great friends here at Spartan Podcast, coming at you from Spartan Way. And almost every day of the week, we've got a new episode of Spartan Podcast. We're on YouTube, we're on Instagram, Twitter, and you could listen anywhere that podcasts are found. And of course, we want to hear their feedback. We love to hear, drop a comment on YouTube. Let us know on Twitter. Take a photo of where you're listening. Take a screenshot. We love to see all that stuff.
And you're good.
I'm pretty good. A+, A-team right here.
You're very good.
We'll see you next
Very
time.
smooth.
Thanks for listening and watching.
All right, out of here.